Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Hmm. So, let me deliver it word by word, exactly as it was given to me. The first thing that came through was a single word. It arrived before anything else, like a title at the top of the page, recognize, not recognition in the way the world uses it, not fame or applause or public acknowledgement, something deeper. Yes, something deeper than that. The message is that you are about to be recognized by life itself, recognized by the very force that has been orchestrating your path from the beginning. What this means is that there has been an imbalance between what you have given and what you have received. And that imbalance is being corrected, not slowly, not partially, fully. You have been pouring into situations, into people, into dreams, into work, and the return has not matched the investment. You have noticed this, and you have continued pouring anyway. That faithfulness has been recorded, and the correction that is coming carries a specificity that I find remarkable. It is not a general blessing, it is a precise response to a precise need you carry right now, one you may not have even spoken out loud. Is greater than, is greater than, snorts, is greater than, is greater than. Here is where the message became unusually detailed and where I need you to listen carefully. There is something you almost gave up on, not something trivial, something that matters to you at the deepest level, something woven into your identity, something that when you think about it in quiet moments, it produces both longing and ache in equal measure. You almost released it. You almost made peace with the idea that it was not meant for you. You came dangerously close to accepting a smaller version of your life, not because you wanted to, but because the waiting had worn you down and you mistook exhaustion for a sign. It was not a sign. It was a test of endurance, and you passed. The fact that some small flame inside you still flickers when you think about that thing, that flicker is not nostalgia, it is prophecy. It is the part of you that knows what your mind has been too tired to believe. I want to unpack what recognized by life means in practical terms, because this is not abstract. When life recognizes you, circumstances begin to rearrange themselves around your favor without you forcing them. Doors you did not knock on swing open. People you did not contact reach out. Resources you did not chase appear in your path. It looks like coincidence to the outside observer, but you will know it is not coincidence because the specificity will be too precise to be random. The exact amount you needed, the exact connection you were missing, the exact words you needed to hear from the exact person who needed to say them. That is the level of detail operating in your life right now, and is why I said this message is unlike anything I have encountered before. The universe is not sending you a general package. It is sending you a custom delivery assembled with your name on every piece. Now, let me share the second layer of what came through because this message had layers, almost like peeling back the pages of a sealed envelope one at a time. The second layer was about timing. Specifically, the message conveyed that you have been operating under a false assumption about your own timeline. You have believed, perhaps unconsciously, that you are behind. behind schedule, behind where you should be, behind the people around you who seem to be moving faster, arriving sooner, achieving more visibly. This belief has been a quiet poison, not dramatic enough to notice on most days, but present enough to color your experience with a faint shade of inadequacy. The message I received directly contradicts this belief. You are not behind. You are precisely on time. And the reason your journey has taken the shape it has taken is because what is being built for you requires a deeper foundation than what is being built for most people. A shallow foundation goes up fast. A deep one takes longer, but holds more weight. What you are about to carry requires the deep kind, and it is finally ready. There is something I need to address about isolation because it came through strongly and with unmistakable emphasis. You have felt alone in this. Not alone in the sense of having no one around you, but alone in the sense that nobody fully understood what you were going through. You could not explain it. The words were not there. When people asked how you were doing, you said fine, because the truth was too complex and too interior to hand to someone in casual conversation. You were experiencing something that had no easy name, a transformation that was happening beneath the surface of your daily life while everything on top looked normal. That isolation was not purposeless. It was creating something inside you, a self reliance, a depth of inner knowing, a relationship with your own spirit that could not have formed in a crowd. You were being given a private education in trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your path, trust in the timing that seemed so cruel but was actually so precise. That education is now complete and the season of isolation is ending. What replaces it is connection, but a different quality of connection than you have known before. Connections that meet you at the depth you now operate from, not the surface level that used to be all that was available. I receive many messages and impressions in this work, and the people who find their way to your channel are often at a very specific point in their journey, a turning point they can sense but not yet see. You are at that turning point right now. You are standing at the exact coordinates where your past effort and your future reward meet. It is a sacred intersection, and very few people get to be conscious of it while it is happening. Most people only recognize these moments in hindsight, but you are here, you are awake to it, and your awareness of this moment actually accelerates it. Let me continue peeling back this message because there is more, and each layer carries its own weight. The third layer was about identity. Specifically, the message conveyed that you have been in a process of discovering who you really are, not who you were raised to be, not who others expected you to become, not who you performed as in order to belong or to survive or to keep the peace, but who you actually are beneath all of that conditioning and compromise. And this process has been uncomfortable at times. It has required you to let go of masks you did not even know you were wearing, masks so familiar they felt like skin. It has asked you to sit with parts of yourself you had been avoiding. Not dark parts, but powerful parts. Parts of you that are so capable, so luminous, so uniquely gifted that they frightened you a little, because stepping into your full identity means you can no longer hide behind the excuse of not being ready. Means owning what you carry and standing in rooms as exactly who you are without apology. The message is that this identity work has reached a tipping point. You have arrived at a version of yourself that is authentic enough to receive what is coming without distorting it, without shrinking it, without handing it away. Think of it this way. If the gift is handed to someone who does not know who they are, they might misuse it, give it away, or fail to recognize its value. But a gift handed to someone who knows exactly who they are is received fully, used wisely, and appreciated completely. You have become that person. The gift can now be trusted in your hands. There was a fourth layer to this message, and it is the one that made me pause the longest before recording. It was about something being returned to you, not something physical necessarily, although it could manifest that way. Something that was taken, something you lost, something that slipped through your fingers during a period when you did not have the strength or the awareness or the positioning to hold on to it. Maybe you blamed yourself for losing it. Maybe you spent time replaying the moment it left, wondering what you could have done differently. The message I received says to release that blame entirely. It was not lost because of your failure. It was removed temporarily because the timing of its presence in your life did not match the timing of your readiness. Now both timelines have converged. The message is that this thing, this energy, this opportunity, this part of your life that went missing, it is circling back, not as a repeat of the past, not as a second chance in the way people usually mean that phrase. It is returning in an evolved form, matching the evolved version of you. It will feel familiar and new at the same time. You will recognize its essence, but be surprised by its packaging. And when it arrives, there will be a moment, a brief suspended moment, where your heart says, I knew this would come back to me, and your mind will finally stop arguing with your heart. I want to go further into the quality of specificity I keep mentioning because I think it is the most important part of this entire message. You know how sometimes life gives you something good, but it feels generic, like it could have happened to anyone, like you just happened to be standing in the right spot. This is not that. What is arriving for you has your fingerprints on it. It responds to prayers you prayed in private. It answers questions you asked only in your journal or only in your mind late at night. It addresses the specific gap in your life that you have been navigating around, the one you adapted to so well that you almost forgot it was there. That gap is about to be filled, and the fit will be so exact that you will understand, perhaps for the first time, with total certainty, that you are seen, not in a vague spiritual sense, seen specifically, known individually, cared for personally. The universe has not been ignoring your details, it has been memorizing them. Let me talk about what happens in your body when this kind of recognition arrives, because I want you to be prepared for it. There is a physical response to being deeply seen and deeply met by life. It is not what most people expect. It is not jumping up and down with excitement, at least not at first. The first response is usually tears, not sad tears, release tears, the kind that come when a tension you have been holding for so long finally lets go, and you realize just how much energy it was taking to hold it. You might cry in the shower. You might cry driving in your car. You might cry reading a message or hearing a song, or simply sitting in silence. Let those tears come. They are not weakness. They are your body's way of making room for the new reality that is installing itself in your life. After the tears, there is a settling, a calm that feels different from any calm you have known. It is the calm of arrival, the calm of someone who has been traveling for a very long time and has finally reached the destination. Something else in this message that I want to make sure reaches you clearly. There is a person or there is a situation that is going to act as a catalyst, not the source of your win, but the catalyst. A conversation you did not plan for. An encounter that seems ordinary on the surface, but it carries extraordinary weight. A piece of information that reaches you through an unexpected channel, through someone you would not have predicted, in a context you would not have scripted. This catalyst is already in motion. It may have already made its first move toward you without your knowing. It is approaching your life like a stone skipping across water, each skip bringing it closer. And when it arrives, you will not need anyone to tell you what it means. Your entire being will understand it instantly, the way your lungs understand air without needing instructions. It will feel like a key turning in a lock you forgot you were carrying. And once that lock opens, what pours through is not a trickle. It is a current, a steady, warm, abundant current of exactly what you have been waiting for, arriving with a naturalness that makes you wonder why you ever doubted it would come. Those who regularly join me in this space at Virgo, I do not speak this way lightly. I do not use the word specific unless I mean it. And I am telling you now that what I received while preparing this reading carried a weight and a clarity that stood apart from anything in my experience. That is not to make you anxious or to inflate the message beyond its natural size. It is simply to honor the truth of what came through and to make sure you do not brush past this as just another reading. This is not just another reading. This is your reading, and the message inside it was being held until you were ready to receive it. You are ready now. I want to address the question I feel forming in your mind, the natural question that arises when someone tells you something this specific is coming your way. The question is, what do I need to do? And the answer may surprise you. Nothing different. You do not need to start a new practice. You do not need to perform a ritual. You do not need to change your behavior or adopt a new mindset or force yourself into a higher vibration. The work has been done. What is being asked of you now is receptivity, simple, quiet, open receptivity. Imagine a field that has been plowed, seeded, watered, and tended through every season. The farmer does not stand over the field and will the crops to grow. The farmer waits. The farmer trusts the process that has already been set in motion. You are that farmer, and the harvest does not need your anxiety, it needs your trust. There is a quality of joy that I want to describe because I see it attached to what is coming for you, and it is a specific kind of joy. It is not the loud, performative kind. It is the deep, private kind, the kind that fills a room without making a sound, the kind that changes the way you hold your face when you are alone, the way you breathe when you first wake up, the way you look at ordinary things like sunlight on a countertop or steam rising from a cup. This joy does not come from getting something you wanted. It comes from realizing that you were never forgotten, that every silent prayer was heard, that every invisible effort was counted, that the long, uncertain stretch of your journey was not a detour, but the most direct route to exactly where you are about to stand. Let me bring another dimension into this reading that surfaced near the end of the message, but carries significant weight. Your energy carries a signature of completion right now, not ending, completion. There is a difference, and it matters. Ending implies something is over, finished, done, possibly with a note of sadness or loss attached. Completion implies that something has reached its fullness, its intended form, its maturity, like a fruit that has spent its entire life growing toward ripeness, and has finally arrived at the perfect moment to be picked. A cycle in your life is reaching completion, and the beauty of completion is that it naturally opens the door to what comes next without any forcing, without any manipulation, without any anxiety about what lies on the other side. One chapter reaches its final paragraph, and the next chapter begins with its first sentence already written. You do not have to figure out the transition. You do not have to engineer the bridge between where you have been and where you are going. The transition is organic. It is already happening beneath the surface of your days, and all you have to do is keep turning the pages of your own life with curiosity instead of fear. I also sense that you have been underestimating the impact you have on others. This is connected to the message. So stay with me. Part of why life is recognizing you right now is because of the ripples you have created without knowing it. A kind word you said to someone that rerouted their day. A decision you made that inspired someone watching from the edges of your life. A moment of strength you showed that gave someone else permission to be strong. You do not know about most of these ripples. You cannot see them, but they have been accumulating, building an energetic case for your blessing, almost like testimonies being gathered on your behalf. The universe does not reward selfishness. It rewards genuine goodness, the kind that does not perform for an audience, and your goodness has been noted in the quietest, most powerful ways. I want to say something about the element of surprise in what is arriving. Even though I have described the nature of this message in some detail, peeling back layer after layer, the form it takes in your actual life will carry a freshness that I cannot fully prepare you for. It will not look exactly how you pictured it. It will look better. Not better in the sense of bigger or flashier, but better in the sense of more fitting, more you, more aligned with the person you had become rather than the person you were when you first made the wish. This is one of the most beautiful things about how the universe operates. It does not freeze your request in the form it was made. It updates the delivery to match who you are now. Your wishes have been revised to match your growth, and the delivery reflects the current version, not the outdated one. So, when it arrives and it looks slightly different from what you imagined, do not mistake that difference for a deviation. It is an upgrade you earned by becoming more of yourself while you waited. As I bring this reading toward its close, I want to give you permission for something, and I mean this sincerely. Permission to feel excited. I know that sounds strange, but many of you have trained yourselves to suppress excitement as a defense mechanism. If you do not get excited, you cannot be let down. If you keep your expectations neutral, disappointment cannot find you. I understand why you built that wall. I understand the logic behind it. It made sense for a time. It was a reasonable response to an unreasonable amount of letdown, but the wall is no longer serving you. It was built in a different season for different storms, and the weather has changed. What is coming deserves your full emotional response. Let yourself feel the anticipation. Let your heart rate pick up. Let the smile come without censoring it. Let the goosebumps rise on your arms and your neck and wherever they want to appear. These are not signs of naivety. They are not signs that you are setting yourself up for pain. They are signs of alignment. Your body knows what your mind is still catching up to, and your body is celebrating before the evidence has fully arrived, because your body trusts what it feels more than your mind trusts what it thinks. The last thing I want to leave you with is this. This message, the one I almost did not record, the one that came through with the specificity I have never experienced before in all these years of doing this work, it was not meant for everyone who scrolls past it. It was meant for you, the exact person sitting here, reading this, hearing these words, with the particular set of experiences, heartbreaks, victories, and unanswered questions that make up the singular, unrepeatable story of your life. The universe does not send messages this specific to people who are not ready to receive them. You are ready. And the proof that you are ready is the way this reading has been sitting inside your chest since the first sentence, settling in like something that was always meant to be there, like a missing piece, returning to a puzzle you had almost stopped trying to complete. Thank you for trusting this space. Take care, Virgo.